Sometime in 2020, Halo Infinite will be released. And with that comes tons of different people giving their ideas and opinions of what they think they should see from a new Halo release. And today I'm going to share with you just that. I'm going to give you my opinions on what I think and what I would like to see from Halo Infinite when it finally comes out. I'll try to keep my ideas within the parameters of modern game releases, but I can only stomach so many stupid microtransactions, so the game will probably end up with a lot more of them than I'm going to present. First, we'll start off real quickly and we'll just hit the gameplay mechanics and the sandbox of Halo Infinite. I did a video a while back about whether or not Sprint and the Spartan abilities should be in Halo Infinite, so I'll just link that in the corner over there. But basically, ideally, Halo Infinite would be pure classic Halo. No Sprint, no Spartan abilities, but I understand we probably won't get that. So in a world that's not possible, I think I'd just like to see Sprint with maybe a slide ability, because I'll be honest, sliding around in games is pretty fun. And in Halo 5, you were able to do pretty cool things with the slide. So next up we have what weapons you start with. Well, in Halo 3, out of the box, you started with the assault rifle, and I want to say a pistol. It's been a little bit. I think that's right. And then Halo Reach, I want to say based on the different playlists, you could pick what weapons you started out with, whether you wanted a DMR, whether you wanted an assault rifle, etc. Halo 4 had the same type of loadout system, where you could pick your starting weapon. And then in Halo 5, in the arena mode, everyone started with a pistol and an assault rifle. So while pistol starts in Halo 5 weren't the end of the world, I honestly didn't mind them. I would rather go back to BR starts, as I've always found the battle rifle a little more satisfying to use, and then hopefully we'll just tone down the autos a little bit in Halo Infinite. So I did stop playing Halo 5, and I think they did finally remove autos from Arena. I'd have to double check, but I never played that, so when I still played Infinite, the autos were pretty strong. I mean, obviously, if someone was mid to long range, you'd pistol them, but the AR would pretty much always win in a close range engagement. And I guess I don't mind that, but I'd like to see maybe a tone down. Maybe you have to pick up the autos. They could really mess with it and do it in different ways. So anyways, next let's hit on features. And this is another topic I've actually done a video on. I did a video on features that need to be on Halo Infinite at launch. And this will be just all the features I want to see in Halo Infinite, but basically I'll just run through them real quickly for the ones I've covered in my other video. And that's Forge, Big Team Battle, Custom Game Browser, the game mode Assault, the game mode Oddball, and then I'd like to see Firefight, but like I mentioned in that video, it doesn't necessarily need to be right at launch. So let's talk about some other features now that I didn't touch on in that video, and that is Warzone. I don't really give a shit if Warzone comes back. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of people that were big Warzone fans and that's like all they played. I don't really care. I'd rather just see Big Team Battle as the mode that has a lot of players in it rather than Warzone. Trying to incorporate the PvE side of it was cool, but I hated how it was all rec based and microtransaction ridden, and I just don't know of a way that you could do Warzone without the rec system and the microtransactions. So because of that, I'd rather just not see it, but if they have to add it in, it's not like that's the end of the world. Another one that I've actually done a video on is Breakout. So I'm hoping we see Breakout tried again, but hopefully messed with a little bit. In Halo 5, you played Breakout on all the Breakout specific Forged maps, and those were okay. I'd like to see a world where Breakout plays well on just the default maps. So we'll see, maybe 343 will find a way to do that in Infinite, or maybe they make a few maps for Breakout on its own. I think that would kind of be a waste of dev resources, but they could just go the Forge route again, I guess. So I'd like to see Breakout, but hopefully changed a little bit, and yeah. Another thing that Halo 5 did in the sandbox was, as they added in new maps and different rec pack bullshit, they added in a bunch of different versions of weapons. So like you had the battle rifle, but then you also had the Halo 2 battle rifle and the Halo 1 pistol, and etc, etc. I don't really want to see that again. It was cool having all the different guns, but in Arena, which some of these guns did make their way onto, I just felt it was weird having to use a Halo 2 BR on one map and then use the Halo 5 BR in another. So I think for Arena 4v4, all of the maps should just have the base sandbox guns that come with Halo Infinite. And then later on, if they want to add guns like this, they should stick to things like Big Team Battle and Forge, and then if Warzone's there, it can have that shit in there too. Just because, even though the stats were pretty similar and I don't think it made a huge difference, it was just a weird adjustment to constantly be using different battle rifles and different guns like that. Another main feature I want to see is just good PC support. We've seen how long it has taken to get Halo Reach onto the PC, we're still waiting for it. So what I want to see Halo Infinite come out on launch on PC and run well. I don't want to see a shitty port, I want full features, hopefully on Steam, but it doesn't really need to be. And then just like in Halo 5, I want to see the Team Arena playlist return, which mirrors the game modes and settings of HCS and gives the slightly more casual players a way to play the competitive game modes and the competitive game types. And I really like that, as it helps you kind of play the game how it's supposed to be played competitively. Even if the pros disagree on settings and whatnot, I still like that we're not playing a totally different mode than the competitive scene. Like in Halo 3, where all of the competitive scene was playing the MLG map variants and the MLG game type, but base Halo 3 had fairly different settings. So even though you could obviously tell what was going on, there was definitely different tweaks. Like I want to say the movement speed was higher. I think they upped the damage a little bit so you could 3-burst people. I'd have to go back and double check, it's been a little bit. So those are basically the features I want to see out of Halo Infinite, preferably right on launch. So next, let's talk maps. In Halo 5, in my opinion, maps were the weakest point of the game. Although some of the maps weren't terrible, I struggled to really give you my favorite map from Halo 5. Whereas like if you asked me at any point in time, hey, what's your favorite Halo 3 map? I'd go, oh, Guardian. I also like the Pit. I also like Narrows. I also like Valhalla. Sandtrap was really fun for custom games. And to me, Halo 5 just didn't have those types of really memorable maps, and I think that's something they need to work on. But I don't actually want to see a bunch of map remakes on launch. 1 to 2 max, and I would love to see a Guardian or a Pit actual map remake, but it doesn't need to be those. It could be any map. They love to remake Midship from Halo 2, so if they want to go that route again, they could, even though we just did that in Halo 5, so I don't really want to see it again. But it was one of the better maps in Halo 5, so I wouldn't be sad if they did it. So along with that, we need at least 1 to 2 big team battle maps on launch, dev-made maps, not forged maps. So we're talking like your Valhallas, your Sandtraps, big maps that have vehicles on them that are really fun for big team battle and also for custom games. We also need, since Forge was going to be there on launch, we need a Forge canvas. I don't care what they call it. Obviously, like in Halo 3, you're looking at your Foundries and your Sandbox. And then in Halo Reach, it was Forge World. I don't know what the Forge map was called in Halo 4 because I didn't play it. And then Halo 5, by the time Forge came out, I just didn't really care. And these days I'm not that into Forge, but I still love playing on Forge maps, but I personally don't Forge that much, so I can't remember what the Forge canvases were called. One other thing with the maps is I'm done with the stupid remixes of the map. Here's a screenshot that I took when I was looking at the wiki, and you can just see all the different maps that were basically just remixes of another map. And that I don't want to see anymore. I got tired really quickly in Halo 5. I want completely original maps for every map that they create. I don't want to see Truth and then also see Regret, which is like the same map but flipped upside down. I also don't want to see Plaza and then a remix of that and just stuff like that. I'm over the remixes. I hope they don't do that at all in Halo Infinite. So that gives us on launch, we got 1 to 2 map remakes from previous Halos, 1 to 2 big team battle maps, and then the rest of the maps, so you're looking at 6 to 8, I want just regular 4v4 arena maps. And I want them to be original maps, some symmetrical, some asymmetrical, preferably no Forge maps and matchmaking on launch. But since that does seem to be a trend since they added it, I'd want to see at max 1 to 2. I'd prefer Forge was just left to the community, and 343 would focus on actual maps or whatever else they'd want to use their resources on. But like I said, if they have to add Forge-based maps into matchmaking on launch, I'd like to see 1 to 2 max. So that kind of touches on a little bit what I'm thinking for the maps in Halo Infinite, and then the last main thing I want to talk about is the customization in Halo Infinite. So with Halo Reach coming to MCC on PC and Xbox, everyone that hasn't played Halo in a while is getting refamiliarized with the Halo Reach customization system, which in my opinion, even though Halo Reach wasn't my favorite Halo, had the best customization. As you played the game, you'd earn credits, and then as you leveled up, you could buy different armors with your credits. So I'd like to see something like that in Halo Infinite. Now this is where I'm going to give an idea of where you could put microtransactions, although obviously I would prefer that they didn't. So what you could do is, along with being able to earn credits from just playing Halo Infinite, you could also have it so you could buy credits in the store with microtransaction, or just be able to straight up buy the armor pieces or the gun skins that you want. No rec packs, no loot boxes, just straight up buy what you want. And although that still isn't what I'd really like to see, I wouldn't be that upset if that's the way they tried to monetize the game. My opinion here though is mostly irrelevant, since most microtransaction models are going to be decided well above the devs that work on the game anyways. Even if they'd want to go no microtransactions or just credits for microtransactions or whatever, they probably don't get a pick. It's some high up dude who looked at some spreadsheet and saw that they could milk a bunch of players if they added rec packs again, which I'd really hope they don't. Rec packs were pretty stupid. Another thing I'd like to see is like limited time armors and gun skins that you can earn in the game for doing different things. So like an example of this would be, it's October right now, so maybe you get a cool helmet for winning X games of an infection playlist. I'd also like to see them add in special armors and gun skins for the different rank rewards at the end of each season. I want people to see my champion helmet when I'm playing in social and just quiver in fear. So yeah, that's basically quick and dirty what I want to see from Halo Infinite. I'd love to hear what you guys want to see from Halo Infinite, so just put your opinions in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Flip sides up, butt flips up, butt flip up. I can't even talk.
Killing spree.